Hello everyone, I'm Sven Ronning, and this is my channel Violin Axioms, where we explore the building blocks of violin technique. Today we're going to look at 5 different axioms for building better intonation. And to get the full meal deal here, be sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you get all of the axioms and learn how they all fit together. But again, for today we're going to do 5 axioms for better intonation. So the first one of these is that if you want to have consistent intonation, you need to make sure that your fingers are dropping consistently in the same place. And this is especially important for the angle of the fingers, right? So I want to make sure that when the fingers come down, they come down the same way every time. Now, if I change the wrist, for example, that changes the angle that they come down. If I change the height of my thumb, that's going to change. If I change the position of my thumb, if I change where I put my elbow, there's a lot of variables that are going to alter the shape of the fingers, and I need to really be aware of those. So the first, I think, thing that you can do is to be aware of this and practice slowly watching those fingers to make sure that the angle at which they come down and lift is consistent. You also want to make sure that the drops and the lifts of the fingers are moving in rhythm, nice and as slowly as they can move for whatever it is that you are doing. So this is all to say, scale practice is really important here. I'll also commend you to an old film about Jascha Heifetz, the great violinist of the 20th century. And this, I think you can find this in a variety of places, including probably on YouTube. There is a video of him playing Scherzo Tarantelle, and you can watch his hand fly around the fingerboard, and then they back up the camera and give you the performance 8 times slower than the actual performance. And it's quite extraordinary to watch Heifetz's hand move up and down the fingerboard at a extraordinarily consistent angle and with just very smooth speed throughout. So I think that's a real, when I was learning to play the violin, that video was a real inspiration for how to go about playing cleanly and with better intonation. All right. I mentioned already, made reference to this, but the second axiom for today is to think about how the thumb should always be in a defined position with respect to the fingers. Again, when I change the angle of the thumb, you can see that my fingers are having an involuntary twitch and motion based on what my thumb does. So what I want to do is to find the notes that I'm going to use. Let's just say a very basic tetrachord like E major tetrachord. And once I've found all those notes, I'm going to lightly tap my thumb against the side of the instrument so that it will go to the place where it's most comfortable for finding and reaching all of those notes at the same time. And that becomes my setting for the intonation of that group of notes, okay? And I really kind of make the point of pressing save, so to speak. I'm thinking very carefully, very deliberately about where that thumb goes. If you try it yourself, you'll feel that the thumb will naturally go to a particular place if you just let it. If you let the tension out of it by tapping it, that's the best way to figure out where it goes. Okay, so tap the thumb and press save. Those are the things for making sure that the thumb is always in a defined position. Let's go on to the third axiom for today, and that is to think about keeping left with your fingers when you place them on the string. So I think I think it's easy to put down too much pressure But if you actually make a point of putting the fingers down, let's see if I can show you here, slightly to the left of the string so that the string itself hooks your finger and holds it in place, right? So that it's almost as if it's like acting like a coat hook or a flange or something. I don't have to press as hard if I've just set my finger slightly to the left, okay? If I set the finger slightly to the left, the string itself will help hold me in place. Okay, so that is the idea of keep left. So I like think about driving in Japan or driving in England or something like that. That keep left, and you've got a stronger positioning for your fingers. All right. For each finger, as it goes down, anywhere on the instrument, regardless of where you play, a great way to memorize where it goes is in a kind of Cartesian manner. That is to say that there will be 3 dimensions to define the 3 dimensions of space. And I call this, as axiom number 4, the 3 feet of the stool method for finding a note. And so, for example, let's say that I'm going to put down this 4th finger on E, on the A string. There are actually several position or touch points that I am monitoring to know where I'm supposed to be. One of them, of course, is the 4th finger where it goes, where I feel it on the string. But you may also notice that my 3rd finger is also down and kind of underneath it. So it's sort of helping to hold that 4th finger in place. And that is what I call the buttress finger. It's a finger that's sort of helping to support. So I don't have to press and put all the energy through the 4th finger. Some of it is also being held by the 3rd finger. So that's 2 of the coordinates. And then the 3rd one is the thumb over here. So the thumb, the pressure on that it exerts on the finger I'm playing, and the buttress finger that's helping to support that finger, is providing me with a secure way of holding in position. Now, this is true whether I'm in 1st position or 4th position. Whatever it is, I have the finger down underneath the finger and the thumb. So those 3 things, the finger underneath the finger, and the thumb, are providing me with the information, the touch information I need to get an accurate intonation. Now you ask, if I'm using 1st finger, then I can't have a finger underneath the finger. Is that correct? And of course, you are absolutely right. That is true. So in that particular case, what I try to do is to give that the support with an imaginary finger under that finger, and that would be my elbow over here. I want to make sure that I swing the elbow into a place that holds that 1st finger and the thumb, and that becomes the 3rd foot of the stool for 1st finger motion. Usually, I think almost invariably, if I find a good elbow position for one, I found a good elbow position for all of the fingers that are going to be in that position, whether it be 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever. That 3rd foot of the stool in that case is the elbow underneath the hand. All right. Last idea today, last axiom, is to think about filling in the negative space when I play notes for better intonation. And this is especially true if I am working with non-adjacent notes. So for example, if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a lot easier to play consistently in tune than do 1, 3, 2, 4, or 1, 4, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, anything like that. Those tend to be a little bit more tricky. So what I mean by negative space is that if I can, when I drop non-adjacent notes, like for example, drop 1 and then drop 3, I'm going to try to drop 2 underneath 3. This is related to the buttress thing I was just talking about a moment ago. It's also related to the consistent angle and all these other things. But if these things continue to come down in the same shape, you're going to have much more information for your intonation, and it will come down consistently. Notice that if I don't do that, that if I drop 3 and leave 2 in the air, or put it partly down, or move the thumb around, you can see that my third finger isn't naturally wanting to drop in the same place. Whereas if I'm filling in the negative space with the fingers underneath the finger and have a good thumb position, the likelihood of my hitting the same point on the fingerboard is going to be very, very much enhanced. So having a consistent thumb position and dropping the non-sounding notes into the fingerboard are going to really help. So to summarize these 5 axioms today for better intonation: make sure that the fingers are falling at a consistent angle, that the thumb should always define where all of the fingers together are dropping, so you can tap the thumb against the neck of the instrument to help you find that place. Hook the fingers more on the left side of the string so that they grab and you don't have to squeeze them really hard. Just gravity helps to hold them in place. Use the 3 feet of the stool, meaning the finger underneath the finger and the thumb, or the finger, the thumb, and the elbow in the case of the first finger, to help define exactly where a note goes. And lastly, filling in the negative space. So when you're dropping non-adjacent notes, particularly as in, for example, arpeggios, you are tracking what the non-sounding notes do to help you play more in tune. Okay, that's it for today. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you get many of these axioms and you can assemble them into a coherent technique, and hopefully they'll do you a lot of good in that way. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.